Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Retail. In today's episode, how to deal with rude people on Black Friday. They should pay me more, or the plunger story. I've been waiting longer than everyone else. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. How to deal with rude people on Black Friday. When it's a slow usual day in retail, I usually don't care how people talk back to me. I just want them out of the store ASAP. Black Friday was a different issue. The store had two lines. One that nearly reached the entrance, and another that had to loop around near the changing rooms. I was one of the assigned register people, and I'm doing my thing next to my other coworker who was also doing her thing. We were helping out both lines the best we could. While I'm checking out the lady in front of me her piles of sweaters and coats, asking her questions / paying with cash or their card / checking their rewards / the usual stuff, I keep hearing this woman behind her complaining about the wait. I don't make out details, but it's a lot of huffing, and every glance I made she was rolling her eyes. Finally, I print out the person's receipt and I thank her for her patience. Now I have to deal with this impatient hole. She walks up to the counter, slams her clothes down and says, "Did you really have to take that long? I want a faster checkout." I'm going as fast as I can. Well, do better. I'm not kidding. She said that on Black Friday. And I lost it. Get out of my line. What? She, pointing to coworker, will be more than happy to help you when it's your turn after everyone else. Remember, the line was almost at the entrance, but get out of my line. I stared her down so that she knew I wasn't kidding, until she threw her hands up in the air and stormed out of them store. Was I in the right? Nope. Not even a little. But it felt so good. Especially since my manager didn't go after me for it and understood. FYI, she wanted 2 t-shirts. Had a customer yesterday trying to get some pictures off his phone to print. He had already brought one of my coworkers close to tears, so I'm trying my best to calm him down and explaining that his pictures are either A, saved to the cloud, most likely, or B, saved in a format that our photo kiosk doesn't recognize, rare, but it has happened. Well, he wouldn't let me try to explain how to get them saved to his phone, and when he said, "You guys are so ignorant. You people that work here don't know how to do anything anymore," I was done. Just walked away. He came back about 5 minutes later asking if I was going to help him or not. I said, "Nope. I'm ignorant and don't know what I'm doing. So, since you think you're smarter than the rest of us, you can figure it out on your own. I have customers I'm waiting on that aren't going to waste my time." I walked away again. He left. In my opinion, you were in the right. All stores have the right to refuse service to anyone for any potential reason. Being rude and hostile, slamming things down, are well within reason. You also deserve to feel good. I'd yearned for my chance to throw out rude customers the moment I was promoted to manager. Yeah, it's not a customer's job to tell anyone to work faster. That's their boss's job. When I worked in retail, my go-to comment after that was always, "Oh really? This is actually really good for Black Friday, last year it was way worse." All in a tone highlighting how F***king stupid they are for B***ing about wait times on Black Friday. I waited in a line for my one store I visited yesterday for almost an hour, and I kept my mouth shut and played a game on my phone like a mature adult. Silly phone games make adult insults such as long lines so much better. My mother sums it up the best. Time standing in line is me time. No, you were in the right. You don't owe them a thing. Your boss is the one who says you're in the wrong. Confirmed. OP was fully in the right. I am betting the line behind took heed and was quite pleasant. I dream of a day when managers protect their employees from aggressive customers. That will never happen, but still. The way I see it, it's okay to go off on a customer every once in a while if they truly deserve it. As long as you don't do it often, and most of the time you can just ignore their rudeness and focus on getting them out of the store, I think maybe risking a write-up once or twice a year isn't necessarily gonna get you fired. At least as long as you don't take things too far. Sounds like this B*TCH deserved it, so well played. I agree. I've worked at my current job 6 years now, and the few times I was rude to a rude customer, my manager didn't believe them when they complained. When I worked in retail, I just ignored complaints like that and didn't try to go any faster. You get paid the same either way. And I always keep that in mind. The customers, on the other hand, are just getting worked up and wasting their own time the more of a scene they make. Did you really have to take that long? Me, yes. I purposely go slower and immediately ask if they want a manager at any sign of complaint. That would be my response. I'd turn into a confused version of the sloth in Zootopia. Telling her to F off is good too. You kind of were in the right, people need to know they can't talk to people like that. I had to do the same to a rude person at the theater box office. Came at me with a terrible attitude, would not let me ask what she needed. I told her to go inside. I am not helping you, you can't talk to me like that. Her kid flipped me off. Welp. Great to know what kind of a mother she is. You deserve to be treated with respect, dignity, and common F**king courtesy. Amen. It may be their job to do a task, but it's not our job to make the task harder or unpleasant. Maybe it's just me, but I absolutely refuse to be rude or mean to someone who is doing a service for me, no matter how bad my mood or day might be. It's not their fault. Why should I make them miserable too? You were 100% in the right. We reserve the right to refuse customers' service needs to come back with a vengeance. It's always amazed me how many people that want something from other people think being a dickbag will get it for them. Only thing that could have improved this would have been, after she got in the other line and waited until she reached the front, your coworker had told her, "Get out of my line." This above comment should be upvoted forever. They should pay me more, or the plunger story. This tale begins on a cold autumn morning a few years ago in the hardware store where I had been a cashier for about 1 year. That morning I was set to be the one opening the store, and as I walked towards the doors I could see a lady patiently waiting in front of them. I took the doors off the lock, whereupon she immediately walked in. "Lady, good morning, miss. Could you please tell me where I can find the plungers?" Me, "Good morning, sure can. Row number 16 on the far side, right in the middle, top shelf." The lady gave me a strange look and walked off without saying another word. I kind of wondered why she didn't say anything after being so polite, but just shrugged and went about my business opening the store. 1 minute later, she reappeared at the register, and I went over to scan her out. Me, as I'm scanning her out, "That was fast." "Lady, yeah, that was exactly where you said it was. I thought you were pulling my leg because you were so specific. Do you know the location of every item in this store?" Me, "More or less, yeah." "Lady, how much do they pay you?" "They should pay you more." Me, laughing, "Yeah, they should. Here's your receipt, ma'am." Lady, "Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of the day." Me, "You too." And that concludes the most pleasant conversation I ever had working that job. The title of this post did not lead me to believe it was going to be pleasant. Reminds me of when I was chasing brown floaters down the high street, because our drains got blocked. He puts the lotion on his skin, or he gets the plunger again. Kinda where my head went. My wife used to work as a stocker at her local grocery store, and I loved it when she'd send me off with a shopping list. Coffee, BOGO, aisle 12, left side 1 halfway down, near bottom. Thai sauce, aisle 9, right side, top shelf, just past the Mexican food. and so on. My husband is a grocery supervisor. I love being able to text him, "Where is the X?" when in his store or another of the same chain. Even other grocery stores, he's pretty dang useful. Where would they keep the breadcrumbs, and he's usually right. It's great. I once had a guy do that at a large pick and pull junkyard. Go 18 rows out, take a left. Blue car on the right, the part you want is in the trunk. I used to work at a garden store, and I got good at it. I learned the plants, their light temp and water preferences, and where everything was. Lady came in with her husband and I immediately got the vibe, let's get this guy to the lawn furniture. So she and I talked about her lawn, the soil, what plants she wanted and why, and basically planned out her whole, recently completely bulldozed, lawn. She told me I was more helpful and knowledgeable than any of the landscapers she had talked to. So I had a few business cards and gave her one from a landscaper, who made me look like a kid with a plastic shovel. She ended up calling the store and saying that my guy was less than the guy she was going to go with. They were going to buy all their plants from our store and get a set of lawn furniture with the money they saved. I want to thank the owner for having a policy of don't make a sale, make the customer happy policy, because she ended up spending way more money with us than they were going to grab day one with their tiny pickup truck. And I didn't feel like a sleazeball. Major supermarket near me just did a complete refit, moving nearly everything somewhere else so they could add a gourmet donut concession stand. They still haven't repositioned the ceiling-mounted aisle number markings with the suggestions of what's in the aisles. Okay, but like gourmet donuts? I think I'm okay with their priorities. Definitely agree. They should pay you more. Whenever I go to the grocery to buy stuff for my kids, I always tip the servers and staff that help me navigate my way to whichever shelf I need to be. It's serious business knowing exactly which item should be placed where. Just so you know, many retail places have policies specifically preventing their employees from accepting tips with possibly being fired as a punishment. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't tip people if you want to, but try to make sure you're off cameras and out of line of sight of management, otherwise the tip is either going straight to the store or the employee could get reprimanded or fired for it. You tip for that? I fit furniture into compact cars and get a wave. I used to be able to do this too when I worked at a drugstore. Pretty specific directions and they always landed the customer right where they wanted to be. I'd have done a double take too if anyone answered my question that specifically, especially in a hardware store, lol. Yes, I love being able to say left side on the top shelf etc. Drives me nuts when the store I work for does a reset and changes item locations, lol. Love it. I've been waiting longer than everyone else. This actually happened today. The exact interactions between me and the customer are paraphrases. It should also be noted that today would be considered a busy day by normal standards, and we had multiple callouts, meaning we were short-staffed, and it's the holiday season. This was an interaction I had during a drive-up order, wherein the customer will place an order online, then 2 to 4 hours later they show up and park in one of 14 designated parking spots, and we bring their order to their car. We were very busy at the time this took place. We had 2 people prepping orders, grabbing people's orders and placing them on carts to take out, and 2 people taking orders out nonstop. I grab my cart of about 7 different orders and head outside with my abhorrently slow work phone in tow that we use to process orders. We're behind, so I'm standing in a no parking zone in the parking lot, frantically scanning bags and moving from car to car giving people their orders. About halfway through my cart full of orders, I scan the bags for an order for and head up to the passenger window. I type in their order confirmation and from behind me I hear, "Hey, I've been waiting longer than them." I ignore that comment and give the current customer at hand their order, wish them a nice day, and resume emptying my cart of orders. All the while I can hear that one Karen saying that they've been waiting the longest. When I finish my round of orders, I'm heading inside when I hear Karen again yell, "Hey." I walk up to her car window. "Yes ma'am, what can I do for you?" "I've been here longer than all those people." I quickly look at my cart and look back at her knowing my cart was already empty. I'm sorry, ma'am, I don't have your order. What's the last name on the order so I can look it up? Smith. It wasn't actually Smith. I look up her order and see that, in fact, they had been waiting for a considerable amount of time. She'd been waiting 10 minutes, but there was 8 or so people who were there had been waiting for similar amounts of time, and I was just trying to complete as many orders as possible. I walkie the other people up front. Yo, who's got the order for Smith? My supervisor over walkie. It's on cart 4. All the orders on cart 4 are here. I look back at her and say I'll be right back with your order. I head back inside, grab the cart with her order and 3 other orders, and head back out to the parking lot. I get to the no parking zone and purposely reserve her order for last, not only because she was being pissy, but because the other orders I had on my cart were only single item orders, making them faster to complete, whereas she had a full grocery list of items. I get to her and know I'm in for the worst. I scan the items in her order and walk up to her car window. Is this how you treat your customers? Do you not give her people their orders in the order that they come in? This is ridiculous. Blah blah blah. We do our best, ma'am, but we're very busy right now. We're also short-staffed today, so we're doing the best that we can. I'm sorry that you've had to wait so long. Asterisk grumble grumble asterisk. She was driving a truck, so I asked, do you want your stuff in the bed or the back seat? Back seat's fine. I silently load her stuff into her back seat and wish her a good day. Some people have no concept of time when they are forced to wait. I had someone on hold for 10 minutes, and they called back and complained that they had waited over an hour. There was a notification beep every 5 minutes when someone was on hold, and it had beeped twice when I got back to her line, and she had already hung up. I work in a bar, regularly get I've been waiting for my food over an hour, then when you look at the receipt they ordered less than 30 minutes before. 10 minutes isn't a long time to wait for an order to be brought out if a store is busy. The Karen just thought she was more important than anyone else, or she lacked the brainpower to notice all the other cars and go, they look busy, so I might have to wait a little longer than usual. Yep, I've easily waited 20 minutes before. It isn't that big of a deal, I just play on my phone while I wait for them to bring it out. I figure I had someone else do my shopping for me, so I am saving time even if I have to wait a bit to pick it up. It would have taken me longer than that to do the shopping myself, so I am still saving time. I once went to Wally World for a pickup order. I had gotten a notification it was ready to be picked up, and waited literally more than an hour. I wasn't the only one waiting either. I finally got out of the car and found a worker running himself ragged loading groceries. I asked him, "Are y'all short-staffed today?" He was barely able to spare me a glance and a breathless, "Yeah," before running to grab someone else's groceries. I left my kids in the car with my mom, and went into the front of the store to look for a manager. The first one I spoke to did everything but roll her eyes at me. Yeah, they had 6 people call in sick today. They're asking me to work back there. Thankfully, another manager was considerably more sympathetic, especially since I had a hungry toddler and a baby waiting. She walked to the back of the store and personally retrieved my order for me so I could take it to my car. I understand being short-staffed, but when your wait times are more than an hour, you should let your customers know their order has been delayed. I've gotten notifications like that before. "We're sorry, your order is still being processed/running a little late. We'll notify you when it's ready." But nope, they acted like everything was fine and just let people sit in the pickup spot for an hour with no explanation. I saw one woman leave the parking lot in frustration, and 30 seconds later the poor lone worker came out with her order. I used to work in a major U.S. department store. We had multiple departments upstairs, but, much like many other retailers in recent years, the only time we fully staffed every department was Black Friday to Christmas, and not even really that. I could see most of the registers upstairs, and would watch when customers would approach an empty cash wrap register, and would go over as soon as possible to help them. I can't tell you how many times a customer would claim to have been waiting for 30 minutes for someone to come help when I watched them walk up to the cash wrap 30 seconds to a minute before. They also would wander around the store for 3 hours only to suddenly be in a hurry as soon as they saw one other person in front of them at the register. People just don't want to wait anymore. It's so bizarre that we apologize to the Karen monster for their nasty behavior. Agreed. We get that behavior because we reward that behavior. Oh, I'm sorry we didn't meet your ridiculous expectations, Mr./Mrs. Customer, here's a gift card. Makes me sick. I silently load her stuff into her back seat, carefully positioning them to fall over and scatter when she takes the first left turn. You don't deserve to be treated poorly by customers. It's frustrating hearing stories of conflict knowing a staffing correction would have helped. Blame your supervisors. Unfortunately, this is retail life. Some days are good, some days there be Karens and Kens. It wasn't management's fault though. We can survive one call out, two if it's not a very busy day. But that day we had 4 call-outs, so no matter what it was going to be a busy day. I am always nicest to people that are serving me because I know that most others are not. When I was working retail, I loved making the pissy/snobbish/generally rude AF a-holes wait even longer on purpose. I would go out of my way to help everyone else first, then get to them, and then finally at checkout, I would take as much time as possible to bag everything for them and ask all those annoying questions. Warranty, you want a credit card, we have such and such a sale, blah blah. Gonna be an ass, you're gonna deal with the consequences for it. Some people just weren't raised proper. One day we were short-staffed as hell, so we had only one register open. Naturally, there was a long line of waiting customers. My colleague is doing his best on the register. Someone calls. Hey, can't you work faster? My colleague just took off his work shirt, left his workplace, walked up to the customer and said, and now, it takes even more time. Then he walked in the back and drank a coffee. He now isn't allowed to interact with customers anymore, not only because of this particular story, but more similar ones. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.